But yeah, that's when I remember you, even though I had not officially met you. I felt like you were responsible, and I knew Justin pretty well, and so that's how I remember you, even though I didn't meet you.
You felt I was responsible. What an inaccurate first impression.
Okay, so we first met at Crestview in the College of Professional class. I had been at Harding for 3 years at the time, and I just came home for the summer, was here looking for friends, and nothing really happened between us. We were just good friends all summer long.
I thought she was funny. I thought she was easy to talk to. Didn't really think a whole lot other than that.
I just remember thinking he was goofy and weird.
And then one day I was like, no, I'm gonna actually text her and talk to her. But I found myself always looking at my phone and being like, man, when's the next message gonna come through?
But yeah, we were good friends. We were pretty good friends before we ever ended up dating. And then very end of the summer, things started to spark a little bit.
So I typed this whole text, went through it like 20 minutes, just with random jokes in there, of course. And I was like, okay, let's go get a movie, let's watch a movie, let's go get dinner. So I sent it, put it down, you know, like you do, you don't want to look at it. Went to the other room and waited for my phone to buzz. And it did. And this is where she taught me the very first lesson, which was you never go on a first date on a Thursday. It's stupid. You go on a Saturday. It's like, well, fine.
Our first date was, we went to Cheddar's.
They have the fish tank, so you can make conversation about that, and the little paddle boat things on the ceiling. The win-win all around. So picked her up from the church around 6. We drove out to Cheddar's, and conversation was just really easy.
I don't remember it being weird. Don't remember having to force conversation, which was so nice.
You know, something you go on a date, you're like, I'm not going to get the buffalo wings, but I'm going to order this fancy cheese. Whatever. Didn't do that. We ordered messy food and ate it, and it was great.
And then we went and watched the Minions movie.
Despicable Me 3. Because I remember I gave her an option between that movie or some other like more grown-up movie. And she's like, given the choice, I'll always pick a kid's movie. I like this girl.
And then we came back and actually hung out in the car at the church playground. But we just sat in the car and talked for like 2 hours after the date was over. And then I had curfew, so I had to leave. But I just remember not ever having a problem talking to him. And that was really nice. There was never a lull in the conversation or an awkward small talk that had to be made. It was easy.
The thing that stood out to me the most was just, I can talk to people for a while, like I can talk, I'm a good talker, but never for like 2.5 hours with one person, especially when I don't know that well. It was just so natural, so easy. So that's when I knew it was something special. And
on our third date, I think it was third and fourth actually, but on our third date specifically, we came and hung out at the church playground, and we were on the swings, and we probably sat on those swings for 2 to 3 hours and talked about everything. We talked about worst fears of like spiders and snakes and all that kind of stuff. Nothing super deep, but just got to know each other on a different level than like first date talk.
a lot of like, what do you think about this? Just like questioning, not like in a weird way, but just like, what's your favorite this? What's your favorite that? How do you feel about this? And got to know each other really well. That's the night that she asked me, we were just asking questions back and forth. She's like, so when are you going to kiss me? She's like, I'm not leaving until you kiss me. I was like, well, fine then, I will. So the playground is a great memories.
It's very light and doesn't take himself too seriously.
But around Brianna, I never ever, even from day one, felt like I had to be anyone else besides who I really am.
He's also very goofy. And I can be.
We oftentimes will cook, we'll do stuff, and I'll make the steak. She'll make potatoes, we call them potats. And she has her own dance that she made from chopping up squash and zucchini. It's like, she chops low, chops to the left, chops up, down, up, down. And it's called chop the squash, chopping zucchini, and chocolate croquettes. So it's a great little dance. You'll probably debut it at the wedding.
We like to eat at Wingstop, which doesn't sound like a fun date night place to go, but it's just, I don't know, it's just fun to eat wings. Like, wings are just such a fun food to eat, and they're so messy, and I guess it's humbling to eat wings with somebody you love. I don't know. We also play a lot of board games. There's lots of board games you can't play with two people, so we sometimes make up our own rules.
She introduced me to Harry Potter movies, so I watched them, loved them, thought they were great. I tried to introduce her to Star Wars. She tolerated it, which was nice of her.
Ethan and I have been, I think we started stargazing on like third or fourth date maybe.
We went out past Lorena, down like past the school, middle of nowhere, found some random field and just put a blanket on it, just looked at the stars and talked.
It's really fun to do that with him because he knows a lot of the constellations.
For Valentine's Day last year, she got me a blanket with the exact constellation patterns of the stars from that night, as it would be seen from like Waco-ish, Texas. Super cool. That's what came to mind. Yeah, those are our themes. Oh, and making fun of people.
So we had dated for 3.5, 4 months the first time, and then we took a break. When I graduated, I came home and moved out on my own and worked for a little bit and just needed to have some independence.
I really knew she was the one kind of in that time we weren't dating each other. Because you would think if she wasn't the one when that broke off, it's like, okay, here's my chance to find the one or to find someone different. And I just can never really get over the fact that I'm never going to find anyone better for me than Brianna. It just wasn't happening. Yeah.
And then I think the first time that I really knew is when it was about August, I think, of the next year, that we had been apart for 9 to 10 months. And I just started thinking about him a lot. And I kind of ignored it for a while, to be honest. But I had thought about it long enough that I mentioned it to him, and he was on board for trying it again. So we tried again, and probably a few weeks in, I knew that it was gonna happen.
We've always talked about being each other's other half. There's things in my life, that personality traits that I lack, that she actually has.
I think my favorite thing about Ethan is actually kind of funny because it's something that I don't have.
Whatever's missing in my life, she feels that. And I think it's vice versa, but I think she's pretty great without me.
He just can bring energy and fun and excitement to a room.
I truly feel like anytime that I have to spend like more than a day away from her, like it just kind of sucks.
Ethan is definitely my soulmate, my match, just because we are complete opposites in so many ways. And there's so many things I can learn from him and have learned from him, and want to continue to learn from him, in so many ways that we can grow together. And so I definitely cannot imagine life without him now that I've had him in my life. But he definitely is my other half.
This time around, like I had said, it's kind of like once you've been apart for a little bit, you really know, wow, I really want this back so bad. And so from like November 2018, it was only thinking long term. I decided that I wanted to propose probably April or May of 2019. There was that waiting period, and I never really wavered in my opinion that I wanted to propose. It was like a dream. I was 95% sure she was going to say yes. So a slide is a bit nerve-wracking.
Had to keep you on your toes.
I mean, yeah, what's life without a little bit without some suspense? She knew it was coming. Like she had it down to the week actually, because Alyssa was going back to Harding. So it was either going to be that Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. It worked. I mean, it worked out fantastic. In the church playground where we spent all those nights, just sitting around talking.